Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and we're going to talk some more about Thelma and Louise. That's right. This is part 4 of my review of the movie from 1991, Thelma and Louise, everyone's favorite chick flick. Well, not my favorite chick flick. I'd never seen it before. This is my first time watching it, and I'm still not done watching it. Okay, I'm about 2/3 of the way done, and then I'll do my conclusion. Okay, but right, I've watched enough of the movie to give you some review of the movie so far, where I think it's going. Please do not spoil it for me in the comments. All right. I've never seen. I have an idea of what happens at the end, but I'm not. Like I said, I've never seen the movie before, so I don't know for sure what's going to happen yet. At the conclusion at Act 3, I'm just about to start Act 3. Okay, so where we are so far here is I decided to do my chick flick destruction. That's the movie I'm focusing on right now. It's Thelma and Louise. I've already reviewed A League of Their Own. I've already reviewed A Romeo and Juliet, the 1996 version, because let's face it, that's the best version there is out there. Okay, now I decided to review Thelma and Louise. I decided to tackle The Lion. Okay, because I understand how important this movie is to a lot of the women out there. I understand it won a lot of awards. It won all these fucking feminist bullshit awards. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you a straight man's point of view here. Can you handle it? Okay. It won all these fucking praises from the feminist community. Basically, it's a movie that could have been written in 2021 or 2020. Okay, it's a feminist movie. So far, I'm actually enjoying the movie. I like the way it's directed. I like the pacing. I'm invested in the characters. Unfortunately, the men are being treated like shit once again by Hollywood. This is something that's commonplace today. Pretty much every movie does this, but this movie in particular did it 30 years ago. Okay, it was like one of the ones that first started that trend that eventually took over Hollywood and TV and all that kind of shit. All right. So basically, we've met 4 men so far. All of them are assholes, except for one. The cop is chasing him. He seems like a decent guy, but we don't know too much about him. He's very good. He's very thorough as a detective. He's trying to figure out who killed this guy, and he's tracking down the women. Okay, he's going into their apartments. He's going to their jobs. He's talking to their husbands. He's fucking tracking them down. He's trying to find out exactly who these women are and why they would kill this guy. And what the situation was. Okay. Other than him, we've met Thelma's husband, who's an asshole. We've met Brad Pitt, who's a fucking drifter slash con man slash. I'm not really sure. He's playing a harmonica by the side of the highway, asking pretty women for rides. Okay, not exactly a very trusting type of person, but we don't know enough about him yet to pass judgment on him. Okay, we don't even know his name yet. We find that out later. Okay, and then of course we met Harlan, the funny hunk. That's what he calls himself, a funny hunk. And he's also a rapist, but he didn't mention that when he was describing himself. And he rapes Thelma. Louise blows him away. Okay, not because of the rape. Okay, she actually stopped the rape from happening. Thelma got away. They were going to walk away, but instead this guy decided to tell Louise to suck his dick, and that just threw her over the edge. So she blew him away because he insulted her. Yes, she killed him because he insulted her. All right. Okay, so that happened. All right, so now they're on the run, but they're still calling home. Louise's boyfriend answered, and he's going to wire her some money in Oklahoma. So they're on their way to Oklahoma. But every time Thelma tried calling, her husband never answered the phone. He finally did answer the phone and fucking told her to get her ass back home or else. She told him to fuck off. And then she immediately met Brad Pitt's character, who's basically hitchhiking off the highway. And she's really turned on by him because that's the first thing I would think about after I murdered someone or got raped the night before was, when am I going to get laid again? This guy's hot. That's what I would think of if I was her too. So luckily Louise says, no, you cannot come with us. We're going somewhere else. Bye. Okay, that pisses off Thelma. So what do? They start singing fucking The Way You Do the Things You Do by the Temptations, and then they naturally run into Brad Pitt again, and of course Thelma's like, yes, Thelma does that in the movie. Okay, I think there's a message there. Okay, when they see Brad Pitt fucking hitchhiking again off the highway, so they decide to pick him up this time. And now he's sitting in the back seat of the '66 green Thunderbird that Louise is driving, and Thelma is questioning him. They're just having conversation back there. He mentions to her that she's married. Okay, that she has no kids. He thinks it's kind of weird that she would have no kids, that, she should really have some kids. He says that her husband's too immature. No, not because she says he's immature. He says he is immature, and therefore he doesn't want to have kids because he sees that himself as a kid already. Okay, does that make a lot of sense? But anyway, and we find out that Louise hates her husband. So what the fuck does it matter? And of course, Brad Pitt's character, he's buying into this. He's like, oh yeah. Yeah, he sounds like an asshole, which is exactly what I would say if I was trying to fuck some other guy's wife and she was complaining about her husband. I'd probably say the same thing too. Okay, so that's going on here. She also mentions that that her husband Daryl is the only man she has ever been with. They started dating when she was 14. They got married when she was 18, and they've been together ever since. Okay. We don't know how old she is now. I think she's like 28, but in real life she was 35 when she filmed this scene. Okay. So yeah, and then they got married when she was 18. I call bullshit flag right there. Okay. I don't think that Daryl would be the only guy. I'm not saying that she lied about dating since she was 14 and marrying him when she's 18, but I'm pretty sure she has fucked around on him. She looks like the type that would. She acts like the type that would. She dresses like the type that would. Okay, now, does that mean she should get raped? Absolutely not. I didn't say that. Okay, what I'm saying is she looks like the type of woman that would have fucked other guys. Okay, while her husband was at work. Okay, she definitely would have been fucking other guys. Maybe not in love with another guy. Maybe not serious about anyone else other than her husband. Maybe she commits herself to him in that sense. But she is the kind of girl that would have a one-night stand when she goes out partying with Louise, fuck another dude, and then just not tell her husband about it. Okay, she is that type of girl. Okay, so for you to tell me that she's basically a virgin, that she's 35 and only fucked one guy, I call bullshit on that. Now, if she was more reserved, if she was more homely, if she was shy around people, okay, I would say like, yeah, maybe she is, okay? But Thelma's none of those things, okay? Louise calls her the good girl, but honestly, she likes to wear her hair down. She likes to fucking drink her fucking Wild Turkey whiskey with her Coke back. She likes to fucking dance. She likes to let her hair down. She likes to flirt with guys, okay? She likes to dress provocatively, So no, the fact that she's only been with one guy, and we've met this guy, he's a piece of shit asshole. No, I don't buy that at all, okay? If she was telling me this, if I was Brad Pitt's character and she was telling me this, I'd be like, oh, how cute. You're lying for my benefit. You don't want me to think of you as a slut. That's why you told me that, okay? And you said that because you know goddamn well we're going to fuck later, okay? But you don't want me to think of you as a slut. So you're going to tell me that you've only been with one guy, okay? That's the way I would take it. I would take it this was her way of flirting with me. And that's why she said it, okay? Now in this movie, they can't have that. They can't have that, okay? Come on, she just got raped the night before, okay? They can't have her portrayed as a slut. No, of course not. And no, I don't blame her for being raped. That was totally the guy's fault. Completely the guy's fault. That's a horrible thing. Okay, but this is the way I would look at it if it was me. I'd be like, okay, so she told me that she's only been one guy because she doesn't want me to think of her as a slut. Okay, because she wants to fuck me. She cares about what I think about her. You see what I mean? That's how it works, all right? And Brad Pitt's character does use manipulation to get what he wants, okay? He uses reverse psychology on Thelma because it fucking works. All right. So that's going on here. Louise says that she thinks that Daryl, Thelma's husband, is a pig, because basically they're talking shit about fucking Thelma's husband for like 5 minutes. All right, and Louise says that Daryl is a pig. Okay, well, let me ask you something, Louise. Did Daryl ever kill 2 people in cold blood? Did Daryl ever do that, Louise? No, he didn't do that. Okay, but you did. So if he's a pig, what does that make you? Maybe something beneath him, right? Yeah, he treats people like shit, but did he murder anybody? Did he end their lives? No, he didn't, okay? You have, okay? So for you to call Daryl a pig is actually, you've actually elevated him above you, okay? So I probably wouldn't be saying how bad other people are when you've got enough shit on your own fucking list, okay? But anyway, so that's going on here. Blah. Moving right along. Okay, so Brad Pitt tells Thelma that her husband, Daryl, sounds like a fucking asshole. Well, of course he is, and Thelma's like, he is an asshole. Most of the time I just let it slide. What does that say about you, Thelma? What does that say about you? Okay, Louise drives them through an oil rig. They see some cop cars in the distance with their lights on. So Louise fucking gets off the highway and drives them through these oil rig. Obviously, she's speeding. She doesn't want to get pulled over. Brad Pitt thinks it's because she's speeding, but no, it's because she's afraid the cops are looking for her for what she did. Okay, and that's where he makes that famous line when the cops drive by. If you two men parking tickets, whatever. But he realizes that they're trying to avoid the cops as well. Okay. So that's going on, and Louise tells him, "All right, listen here, okay? We'll take you as far as Oklahoma, but after that, you got to make your own way." And he's like, "Okay," he agrees to it. All right. Okay, so meanwhile, Hal, the detective, he matches Thelma's fingerprints with the prints they found on the hood of the car that Harlan was murdered at right in front of that car. All right, so they know that Thelma is there, okay? Was there, okay? Daryl's gun is also missing. They found that out when they interviewed Daryl, okay? That the 38 that he had is gone, okay? So they never did show up to that fishing cabin. So Hal's doing his job, basically. They never did show up to that cabin that they were supposed to go to. Okay, nobody's there, okay? And Thelma, he also was talking to his supervisor, like, you know what, from everything I've discovered, Thelma was so afraid of even touching a gun that she never learned how to fire one or how to use it. So he finds like why would Thelma shoot anybody? Like she was scared of guns. Okay. So he's trying to put all the pieces together himself. Okay. Louise, meanwhile, she stops at a hotel. Okay, and she tells Brad Pitt and Thelma to say goodbye to each other while she goes inside the hotel. Now, she goes inside the motel to get the money that her boyfriend wired to her life savings, $6,700. So she goes there. The clerk says, "I don't know what you're talking about." She said, "Well, the code name is Peaches." And when she says Peaches, all of a sudden the guy that was sitting on the couch behind her pulls back the newspaper. It's her boyfriend, Jimmy. He's there, played by Michael Madison, everyone's favorite fucking psychopath, Mr. Blonde from Reservoir Dogs. So he gets up there, and of course she recognizes her boyfriend, okay? Well, I guess the room for them. Okay, so they have a little bit of chatter together. Okay, and he goes inside to get her money. Like I said, Jimmy's there waiting. Okay, he gets a room for both of them. Okay, he gets a room for Louise and himself, so they can have some private time to talk and stuff. Okay, he also gets a room for Thelma. Why? I don't fucking know, but he does it anyway. Okay. Now Thelma gets nervous because when Jimmy and Louise go back to her car, Thelma and Brad Pitt are basically playing footsies in the back. Okay, they're flirting with each other, they're touching each other, petting each other, and of course Jimmy sees both of them back there. Jimmy knows very well who Thelma is. He probably knows her husband too. Okay, so he sees Thelma with this guy, and he's already thinking, "Oh, okay, so Thelma's fucking around on her husband." Okay, now if that was me, Jimmy, I would think that as well if I was him, but I'd also thinking, okay, so that also means that that my girl's fucking around on me too, because I wasn't supposed to be here. She didn't expect me to be at the hotel waiting for her. She thought I was just going to wire her the money. So I would also be thinking what Jimmy is thinking, and it turns out he is thinking exactly what I'm thinking, and we'll get to that later. Okay, he tells Thelma, hey, ask me no questions and tell no lies. And Thelma's like, that goes double for me, So they basically kick a Brad Pitt out of the car. We find out his name. His name is JD. That's it. That's all we know about him. His name is JD. Okay. They kick him out of the car. It starts to rain, but he grabs his bag and he starts walking away. He can't hang out in the hotel anymore. All right. So that's going on. He leaves the car. Meanwhile, Thelma watches him walk away. This is that famous scene from the trailer where you see his ass when he's walking away, his fucking ass, the silhouette of him holding his bag and his cowboy hat and his wife beater and his fucking tight jeans and his ass, walking away, Yeah, exactly. Hey, yeah, look at his butt. Yeah, okay, because that was a thing back in the 90s. Oh, my God. Oh, fuck you, Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was the one that was like way on top of this, man. All these guys were showing their asses off back in the 80s and 90s. I don't know why. Well, I do know why. You had Van Damme, you had Lundgren, you had Stallone was doing it, Kurt Russell was doing it, Mel Gibson was doing it. But Brad Pitt didn't do it though. I don't think. It's not like I went looking for it. He gets topless in the movie. We don't see his ass. Thank God. I don't want to fucking see guys' asses. The only reason I even know about this is because they kept shoving this into guy movies, man. Like, I'm trying to watch Terminator and we get a fucking full frontal shot of fucking Schwarzenegger's ass. You know, I'm trying to watch Tango and Cash and we get a shot of both Stallone and fucking Kurt Russell's ass. I mean, come on. Everybody was doing it back then. Fucking, you know, like I said, Dolph Lundgren, they were all fucking showing their asses. They don't do that so much anymore, I don't think. But who the fuck, who cares? I mean, in Sex and the City, they're all showing guys' asses too. Like, what the fuck? Like I said, man, it was a different time. Okay, so yes, there's that famous shot. Oh, look at his butt. Yeah. Well, look at your butt, your fat butt. Anyway, okay, so that's going on here. Okay. Okay, Louise gets her money, her $6,700. That's her life savings. Okay, but tells Thelma that she won't tell Jimmy anything about what really happened, about the murder, about the rape. She ain't gonna tell her boyfriend any of that stuff. Okay, because she doesn't want to make him an accessory after the fact. Okay, so she's looking out for him, right? Okay, Louise, like, I didn't ask him to come here, but he's just like, oh man, he loves the chase. Okay, well, what does that say about you? Okay, and actually, Thelma does say that. She does say that to Louise. Okay, no, I hate it when women say that, just like all men, because not all men do things like that. All right, they're not about the chase. Okay, most men, the chase it comes from the woman. All right, and what I mean by that is that the high value men, the women chase them. They don't chase women. Okay, the low value men have to chase the women. Okay, did Brad Pitt really have to fucking work hard to get Thelma to like him? No, she really liked him. She liked him right away. Okay, he didn't have to fucking really flirt with her. He didn't really have to like pick her up. Okay, or buy her drinks or any of that shit. Okay, she saw him, she liked him, boom. That's how it works in real life. Okay. Okay, the guys, they have to go out there and buy you drinks, you know, and try to make jokes, you know, and those are the guys that they can't get laid. Unfortunately, it's true. Now, you can become a guy that starts off that way and ends up being the guy that girls come to. You can do that, okay? But you got to start in the place where nobody wants to start and work your way up to the other level, okay? You see what I mean? Okay, so no, it's not about the chase, all right? If anyone, Thelma's chasing him, okay, not the other way around, okay? Okay, and no, I say this to Louise. No, he's not like all men. He doesn't approve of the chase. I think that the reason, at least at this point in the movie, I think the reason that Jimmy came to Oklahoma was because he actually gives a shit about Louise. I think he has feelings for her. That's his girlfriend, after all. That's not his fuck buddy. That's not his casual acquaintance. Not a friend. Okay, it's her boyfriend. Okay, so he came there because he gives a shit about her. He has feelings for her. She's desperate. She needs help. She asks him for help, and he's there to help her. Whatever problem she's going through, he's going to try to find out what it is and help her deal with it. Okay, so that's why he came there, because he actually gave a shit about her. Maybe he doesn't love her the way that she wants to be loved, but he loves her enough to not want her to be hurt, to not want her to suffer whatever she's going through by herself. Okay, all right. So Louise tells Thelma to shut up about the questions and to guard the money. Okay, guard the money. So that's what she decides to do. Okay, so Jimmy has a separate room for Louise and himself. Okay, and when she gets there to his room, he's got a rose waiting for her. Okay, and he wants to know what's going on. He wants to know what this whole situation is. Why are they on the road? Why did he have to wire her the money? You know, he lied. He told that he needed the money for a car, but the truth is he needed it for her. Okay, so he wants to know what's going on. Louise won't tell him. She's like, it's better you don't know, you know. So he's thinking what I would be thinking too if I was in that situation. He's thinking that, okay, so she's seeing somebody else. She's seeing somebody else. That's what I would think too. All right, and that's what he thinks as well. He asks if it's another man. Okay, and she says no, it's not. It's nothing like that. Okay, which I don't believe. I do believe that Louise is the type of woman that would cheat on her boyfriend. I mean, he's always gone too. He's always on the road as a musician for some band. So I'm pretty sure he's getting some as well. Okay, that would be enough to set off Louise to fuck around on him too. So yeah. She says no, I don't believe that shit. Okay, and he starts trashing the room. Now I lost all respect for him right there. Okay, when she says no, I'm not seeing anyone else, nothing like that. You know, he immediately fucking walks away from her, and then he fucking loses his temper and starts trashing the room. He starts knocking shit over, picking shit up and throwing it. Like, what the fuck, dude? You were so calm and collected a second ago. And now you're fucking Citizen Kane. Like, what the fuck, dude? What kind of guy is this? And obviously, based on Louise's, the way she reacts to this, she's seen this before. She's seen the side of him before, and she decides to fucking walk straight towards the door. And she doesn't do it in a way that I feel unsafe, like maybe he's gonna hurt me. She does it in a way like, oh shit, I ain't putting up with this today. I got enough to deal with. Fuck you, I'm leaving. Like, she's been through this before. And he stops her. He blocks the door. No, wait. I'm sorry. Okay. So now this is the other guy that we've met. Okay. This is the fifth guy that we've met in this movie. Okay. We met the first one, Thelma's piece of shit husband. We've met the piece of shit rapist. Okay. We've met he's actually the bad guy, but he's actually the good guy in this movie is the bad guy. He's the antagonist, is the cop who seems like a decent guy. He's a good cop. He's trying to find out what happened. He's trying to go after these girls. Okay. Hal. So there's one good guy. That's the third guy. The fourth guy that we met is this shady kid, Brad Pitt's character, JD, who we don't really know much about, but he's hitchhiking and playing the harmonica and asking pretty women for rides. Okay? So he's something shady about him. Okay? And then we've met Jimmy, who fucking, when he doesn't get what he wants, he gets violent. Okay? He gets violent just like that. What the fuck is this movie saying about men? What is this movie saying about men? Exactly. Like I said, this could have been written in 2020. All right. And this is why it won all the feminist awards. I can see it now. Okay. Because men are all shit, right? Okay. Yeah. Next time we get fucking and go to war, ladies, you do all the fighting. We'll stay back here and take care of the kids. All right. We'll fucking work at the factory jobs. You can go fight for us. Okay. Because we can't be trusted with that shit. No. But you can. You're better than us. All right. So that's going on. Like I said, she gets the money from him. Okay, he loses his temper. Okay, whatever. He starts trashing the room. You know, he starts screaming too when he does it. He says like, you know, you just going to leave for fucking forever? What the fuck, Louise? What'd you do? Would you kill somebody? Well, yeah, she did. Okay. He stops her from leaving. Like, say, he blocks the door when she tries to leave the room, and he apologizes. You know, he gives her an engagement ring. I got this for you. Here, and he gives it. It's an engagement ring. What the fuck, dude? You don't propose to your girlfriend after you just fucking trash the room in front of her, okay? That's not how you do it. What the fuck kind of man are you? Are you not even a real man? You're like a cartoon character. Like, what the fuck? How do you go from fucking trashing a fucking room and getting violent in front of your girlfriend to fucking popping the question? Here, I got this for you. Yeah, no. I don't buy this shit at all. This is bullshit. Bullshit right there. Okay? And Louise like, well, what now? And he's like, oh, well, don't get too excited, okay? I mean, I came all the way here for you. I mean, you know I don't like to fly. And Louise says, you came because you thought I was with someone else. No. I don't want to lose you. And I got a feeling that you're leaving me forever. That's not a good reason to get married, Jimmy. Well, I thought that's what you wanted. Not like this. Okay, so that's going on here. Yeah. A lot of drama here. Okay. Meanwhile, Thelma's back at her room. It's raining outside, and someone's knocking at the door. She thinks it might be Louise. It's JD. It's Brad Pitt. He's there. Okay. He's just being like, hey, I was just in the neighborhood, you know. I was out there trying to get a ride. I ain't gonna get no ride in this rain, you know. And I couldn't stop thinking about you, and you know. But if you don't want me to stay with you, it's fine. It's fine. I understand. I'll make my own way. I'm sorry I troubled you. And she's like, oh no, come on in. Come on. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, reverse psychology, and fucking Thelma is stupid enough to fucking fall for it. All right. Okay. So that's going on. Okay, and she lets him in. Okay. Now, meanwhile, back in the other room, Louise and Jimmy are still talking, and Louise wants to break up with him. Okay, she wants to dump him right then and there. All right. She says, time to let go of the old mistakes and chalk it up to bad timing. Okay, so she's breaking up with him. Okay. Meanwhile, Thelma and JD are back in their room, and I guess they're getting drunk. They're playing patty cake with each other, and somehow fucking JD's shirt just disappeared. So he's fucking bare-chested. Playing patty cake with Thelma, who earlier had just gotten out of the shower, so her hair's still kind of wet. She's like wearing her underwear and a robe. Okay, and he's topless, and they're playing patty cake with each other. Yes, I'm not making that up. They're playing like patty cake, some version of patty cake. I just go with it. All right. Okay. And he said, and then she starts really getting turned on by him. So what do you do when you get turned on? You jump on the bed, and he starts jumping on the bed like a fucking little kid, and that's making Thelma even more horny. Like the floodgates are opening now. And once he started jumping on the bed, that was it. That sent her over the top. All right. Okay. He also knows how to describe himself as well. Okay. His real name is not JD. We find out from his own words that his real name is the Great and Powerful Oz. That is his name. That's what he calls himself when he's jumping up and down the bed. I am the Great and Powerful Oz! We got a lot of crazy people in this movie, don't we? We got the Great and Powerful Oz. We got number one. We got the funny hunk. I mean, shit, there's a whole marquee right there. What the fuck am I watching? What the fuck am I watching? All right. Now, this sounds like the fucking Avengers. Okay. And the whole time I thought they were supposed to be sober. I didn't realize they were drinking. But oh well. Okay, so he tells Thelma that because she wants to get personal before she fucks him. She wants to know a little bit about him. She knows nothing about him really. Okay, he tells her that that he jumped parole, so he's on the lam as well. Okay, he doesn't know that they are, but yeah, he jumped parole. So he says he's got an angry parole officer that's looking for him right now. It turns out he's a professional robber. That's what he was in jail for. Okay, is he robbed places? And of course, Thelma asks him, well, did you rob banks? Because she thinks that's sexy. Maybe it is. I don't know. But he's like, no, I didn't rob no banks. No, come on. Like, that was a ridiculous question to ask him, He says he robs liquor stores, convenience stores, gas stations, things like that, And he explains to her how he robs the banks, okay? He goes through the whole motions. He actually dramatizes it for her. He gets up, he stands up there with his cowboy hat on, no shirt, and he uses a fucking blow dryer as a gun and puts it in his fucking hand. He's like, hey, everybody out there, at this moment, you are being robbed. So either you get that in your head, or you're going to get a bullet in your head. That kind of thing. He starts acting it all out. And of course, Thelma's just like, just fucking getting totally turned on by this. Yeah. All right. Okay. He explains how he robs stores in a gentlemanly manner. He's the gentleman thief. Okay. He's not brutal. Okay. And he tells Thelma, like, if done properly, robbery does not have to be an unpleasant experience. Like that, okay? Well, that's it right there. Okay, now she's got to fuck him now, okay? Okay, and then he tells, well, not yet. She's about to crescend. She's right on the precipice of going right over, and then he says the magic words. He says, you know what, Thelma? I may be the outlaw, but you're the one that stole my heart. That's all it took. In like Flynn. It's a new movie now. Yeah. But we don't see it, unfortunately. We see Gina Davis's body double, because yes, she used a body double. I checked. Okay. Well, come on. You know, I mean, I think she was still with married to Jeff Goldblum at this time. Okay, her husband was, Jeff Goldblum. You know him from fucking Jurassic Park, Independence Day, The Fly. They met on Transylvania 65000, and then they start again on The Fly, and then they start again in Earth Girls Are Easy. I know no one saw that fucking movie. And then they divorced. I think they were still married. Oh no, they weren't married. No, she was actually already divorced him. She was with Christopher McDonald, the actor that plays her husband in this movie. She was with him. They were engaged at the time that this movie was being filmed. So Gina Davis was no longer with Jeff Goldblum. I stand corrected. My bad. All right. But they did break up their engagement during the filming of this movie. I'm thinking that maybe Gina Davis cheated on him for real. Who knows? Who knows? All right. But Gina Davis does have a pattern of her husband's cheating on her. That has happened. And even recently, her last husband filed for divorce. He filed for divorce, in 2017. So she's single again. All right. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right. So so that happens here. He tells her that bullshit line. And it works. It works. Okay. Louise and Jimmy. Meanwhile, Louise and Jimmy, they're talking about when they first met. She's like, hey, you remember when we first met? And he says something about, yeah, I said you had pretty eyes. And he's like, and what were the color of my eyes? I don't remember. So she goes up to him and blindfolds him, puts her hand over his eyes. Says, Jimmy, what color are my eyes? And he says, brown. And then they start kissing. And that's it. That's all we see. We don't see nothing else. Go back to Thelma. Thelma and Brad Pitt are fucking doing the hunka chunka, okay? They're bumping uglies like the best of all, they're basically reenacting 9.5 weeks, okay? But without the ice cubes, all right? That's the way they filmed it, So yeah, they're fucking doing it. They're knocking over shit. They're banging on the fucking dresser, on the bed, in the bathroom, in the kitchen, They're knocking over all the fucking tiny little fucking whiskey bottles and shit. They're doing all that stuff. They're just fucking going at it. Okay, there's shit all over the floor. There's clothes all over the floor. These women are nasty. They're dirty, and he is too. He looks like he could use a shower too. But anyway, so they're going at it. Boom. All right. Now remember, they did murder somebody yesterday, and she did get raped yesterday. She got raped yesterday. Okay. Well, I guess if you don't care, I don't either, right? Okay. Yeah, say that in court. All right. So that's going on here. Okay. JD and Thelma, they're fucking all over the room, like I said. Okay, knocking over shit. Okay. It flash forward to the next day, the next morning. Jimmy's in bed. He's got his shirt off, but his pants are still on. Louise is by the window smoking a cigarette because she's always chain smoking throughout this entire movie. Okay, and she's thinking about stuff. She's worried about stuff. Probably that she's got to leave her boyfriend forever. Like today's the last time she's ever going to see him again. That kind of thing. Is going through her head. I'm pretty sure it is. Even though she doesn't love, I don't think she loves him. Is in love with him. I think she loves him enough that she has feelings for him. And I think it bothers her that he ain't gonna be around. Like whatever they did have that we don't know about, she's not gonna have it anymore. Okay. So I think that's probably what she's thinking about. All right. Anyway, and like I said, she looks worried about it. Okay. It's also pretty clear that Louise is the alpha in this relationship. She leads the relationship with her boyfriend, Jimmy. She is the leader of that relationship. He is passive to her. He does what she says. Okay. She's always trying to make her happy. Okay. And when he loses his temper, he loses his temper. Okay. But he immediately apologizes and tries to make it up to her. Okay. So she's pretty much got him on a leash. Okay. And maybe Louise is tired of that. That's the only thing I can think of. She appreciates that he loves her, despite the fact that he gets very violent. But she's definitely in control of that relationship, from what I can see. Okay. So anyway, they end up having coffee together at the diner next to the motel. Okay, in the morning. Okay, and Jimmy agrees to keep quiet about everything about her. Where she is, that she called him, that he gave her the money. He's gonna keep quiet about all that shit. He's not gonna tell anybody because he knows that she doesn't want anyone to know. Okay. She discourages him from coming after her, from going with her. like she doesn't want him to come with her where she's going, and lets her keep. He lets her keep the engagement. When she tries to give it back, he tells her to keep it. Yeah, he's a fucking simp, a simp and a half. All right, he tells her to keep the fucking engagement ring that he bought for her. All right, he's like, hey, I just want you to be happy. No, get the fuck out of there. You want to be happy? Get the fucking ring back and go fucking cash it in. All right, that'll make her happy. All right. Okay, she doesn't trust you enough. She doesn't love you enough to fucking tell you what's really going on. All right, so and she's got good reasons. I'm not saying that I would tell him if I was her. I probably wouldn't either. Okay, but I wouldn't have fucking let him on either. So that's going on here. Okay, he tells her she wants her to be happy. Okay, they have a long kiss, like a really long kiss over the counter of the table. The waitresses even notice this. Okay, how long they're kissing each other. Okay. And I think when he walks away from her, you can tell the look on her face that she realizes that she's never going to see him again, And then the waitress comes up there and says, like, it's a good thing he left, or else we would have to put out a fire. Yeah, because I guess it was a hot, passionate kiss that they had. Oh well. Meanwhile, Thelma and Brad Pitt had a hot, passionate fuck. But okay. All right, so I'm going to stop my review right now. This was part 4. Ooh. Part 4 of my review of Thelma and Louise. I will be back shortly with part 5, and we will continue on this journey through these two fucking bitches. All right, so thank you very much for watching this, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.